Hello class, and welcome back to another day of e-learning. As you can see, there is an assignment where it says watch the video explaining slides 2 and 3. So that is what this video is going to be about. So if you open up my Google slideshow and go to Unit 3, we're going to be talking about energy and matter in ecosystems. So how the heck does this relate to cells? Well, in our cells unit, we discussed the mitochondria and the chloroplasts. Well, those are going to be some of the prime stars of this unit. So we're going to be talking about cellular respiration and photosynthesis in this unit. Well, the chloroplasts are responsible for photosynthesis, and the mitochondria are responsible for cellular respiration. Basically, they're in charge of making all of the energy that is found in your body. But we have to crawl before we can walk, and then walk before we can run. So we're starting a new topic today. So you will need to make a unit cover for this unit on page 25 in your notebooks, titled Unit 3, Energy and Matter in Ecosystems. That is going to go on page 25 in your notebooks, page 25. That'll be the only thing on that page. And that's going to be on the right hand side of your notebook on page 25, Unit 3, Energy and Matter in Ecosystems. Once you've done this, you're going to do a flip, and we're going to briefly discuss topic 1. And here we're going to start talking about molecules. So this unit is going to have a little bit of chemistry in it. So we're going to do a brief activity with molecules on Friday, so tomorrow. But here we're looking at what are the functions of the molecules important to life. So a molecule is just two or more atoms joined together by chemical bonds. So here we have a blue atom and a blue atom joined together with a red atom. And that's going to give me a molecule. Now, you see molecules all the time without even realizing it. You breathe in molecules, carbon dioxide, oxygen, nitrogen, hydrogen. Those are all considered molecules. You also drink water, H2O. You eat food that has sugars in it, C6H12O6. Okay? You have all of those things that you are constantly consuming. So you interact with molecules all the time. Now, the main ones that we're going to talk about are in this table. These are something that we call macromolecules. So in your notebooks on page 27, this is basically going to be the entire page. Okay? We have biologically important molecules. And there's 4 main ones that we're going to talk about. These are called macromolecules. Macro meaning large, and molecules being the things we just talked about. So literally translating to large molecules. Carbohydrates provide short-term energy and make up cell structures. And they contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Examples would be sugar and starch. And their monomer is monosaccharides, or simple sugars. Now, a monomer is a fancy word for one part. Mono means one, mer means part. Monomer equals one part. So think of a monomer as like a brick, and think of the molecules, these biologically important molecules, as the whole brick wall. A brick wall is made up of multiple bricks. So if you get enough simple sugars together, you end up making a carbohydrate. Now, proteins, they help regulate cell functions, and they help build and repair cells. We encountered proteins in the last unit, remember, with facilitated diffusion and active transport? You can find these in your cell membrane. And when it says regulate cell functions, well, it helps bring stuff into and out of our cells. We saw that. And proteins also help build and repair cells. So after you've been working out, normally they tell you to eat protein. Well, there's a reason for that. It helps repair the muscles that we've had some damage to after exercising. This contains carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and sulfur. Examples would be enzymes. These are things that just help us carry out everyday functions. Antibodies, which help us fight off infections. Your muscles. And the building blocks are called amino acids. So this is the brick. Protein is the whole brick wall. So if I get enough amino acids together, I'm going to make a protein. Nucleic acids, we aren't going to spend too much time on these. These are going to be the star of the show next semester when we talk about genetics and evolution and anatomy. But these store and transfer genetic information. And they contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, phosphorus. Examples include DNA and RNA. So remember, DNA is in our nucleus, right, of our cell. And DNA is going to store our genetic information that helps us build who we are, right? And RNA, again, we're not going to talk too much about that. We're going to see that more next semesters, but keep this in your back pocket for later. And the building block of this is going to be nucleotides. Okay, so a nucleotide is the brick. The nucleic acid is the whole wall. So if I get enough nucleotides together, I get the whole brick wall. And lipids, we've seen these before. These are in our cell membrane, right? These are the these are the fence around our cells, and the protein channels are the gates. Lipids store long-term energy, they protect, and they insulate. So imagine if you didn't have any fat on your body at all, and if you fell over, you'd break a bone pretty easily, or you'd get injured fairly easily. Fat kind of acts as a cushion, or our lipids kind of act as a cushion. Also insulates, keep us warm, right? If we didn't have any fat on our bodies, we'd get cold pretty easily. Lipids also contain carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. Examples would include oils, fats, butter, and their monomers, glycerol, and fatty acids. You won't really need to know that. That's more of a biochemistry thing, and we're not going to get super into that in this unit, but just so you know, these would be the brick, and the whole thing is the brick wall. Now, you'll probably notice a trend here. All four of these all contain carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen. Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, okay? All of them have carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen, as you can see. So I just wanted to make that very clear, that these are going to be very important in this unit, especially carbohydrates. We're going to be looking at carbohydrates quite a bit. And carbon and hydrogen are literally in the word. Carbo would be carbon. Hydrates would be water. Well, what is water made up of? H2O. Hydrogen and oxygen. Craziness. Okay? Science is just a language. Once you learn it, it's a lot easier. And that is your input page. So for today, you need to finish your vocab, and you're going to need to get this into your notebook. We are going to be coming back to this quite a bit. We will do our output page together tomorrow. Stay tuned and have a great rest of your day, kiddos. Bye.